Hey, this is Andrew Lim inviting you to go out on a limb. So I've been traveling in Seville for a while and I've been having a lot of meat. The Iberico pork here is simply amazing, but I do miss seafood. So I decided to check out Canabota, which is a popular seafood fine dining spot here in the city. So come dine with me, but before we do that, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notify button for new contents that I upload weekly, which is gracias. So Canabota is a popular seafood restaurant here in Seville. Almost every local actually has been here because it's that popular. It's a Michelin one-star spot. It's actually really casual. It's a gastro pub feel. If you come here, definitely check out its tasting menu and see that it's bar. This is actually where you see their staff in action.
We're going to start with a few appetizers from the house. What we have, the glass on the right, this is a gazpacho.
Okay.
It's a typical soup of tomato from Andalusia. On the other side, we have a stick with vaporeta and dried tomato, and on the principal plate, a toast of sardine and tomato. I recommend it.
Now, the clear tomato soup was really unique and really tasty. It really opened up my appetite, and the sardine on toast was really delicious as well. The first course was the cherry clam, as well as my favorite razor clam. The clam was great, the cherry clam, but the razor clam definitely was my favorite. It was really fresh. The meat was really bouncy, al dente, just flavorful. We follow up the clams with a fish pate dish mixed with fish meat. It's really interesting. It was really flavorful as well, and I liked it.
Now we'll continue with tuna salad, different type of cherry tomato, and this cold soup of dry tomatoes.
Now this dish definitely did not look like a salad. In fact, it was more like a cold soup, cold summer soup with tuna in it, and it was really refreshing. It was a bit tangy as well, and it really opened up my appetite. Now this is actually fresh or raw shrimp topped with caviar. A very unique combination, I would say. Interesting, the saltiness of the caviar really brought out the sweetness of the shrimp. Now this is a cod dish with leeks. Really interesting. The cream is actually an emulsion of the fish head. So the cream was really tasty, I have to say. It's really sweet. I mean, if you really love fish, you know that the head is actually the best part. So they actually, emulsify it and make it into a cream, and it actually went really well. In fact, every drop was actually soaked up by the bread.
This is a grilled French oyster with a cream of spinach and a twist of lemon.
Cream of spinach definitely reminds me of Roosevelt era lunches, but it definitely paired really well with the grilled oyster. And in fact, they actually grilled their seafood right in front of us at the bar. And the way they grill the seafood is unique. They actually don't grill it all the way through. It's still semi-raw to retain the moisture as well as the sweetness of most seafood.
What we have here is a broth of mushrooms with piglets, chanterelles, and baby squid.
Oh?
I put it upside down because it has the ink inside, so be careful with it.
Oh, it's good. Okay, all right. Thank you. By the way, the service here is absolutely amazing. Befitting of a 2 Michelin star restaurant, if you ask me. The squid is really succulent. It's really great. It's really flavorful, juicy, and plump as well. So it was actually done to perfection. The fish dish here is the grouper family. We have a grilled and a fried combination. Both were really tasty. And we have the monkfish, which is an Andalusian monkfish. The texture, of course, is a bit tougher than that of a grouper, but it's done really well. So the prawns were not part of the tasting menu. But it was so fresh that we had to get it. Unfortunately, they had 2 left for us, mid-sized one. The way they cook it, simple. They just grill it, not all the way through. So you know, it's still semi-raw, and because of that, the meat is super succulent and it's super sweet as well. And you know, I think, you know, I tried to actually cut it apart with my knife and fork. Didn't work, so I used my good old hands to peel it apart. And oh boy, the meat's just simply delicious. And the juice from the shrimp head or the prawn heads that you know suck it out, it's just divine.
This is a emulsion of oyster, ice on lemon, and caviar centric. And what we have in the glass is a soup of cucumber.
Okay. The caviar citrus is also called finger limes. It's very unique. In fact, you know, it looks like caviar. Could be a vegan caviar, although it might be too tart or sour. We'll see. But talk about a palate cleanser that's unique. I mean, with sweet and savory taste combined. The dessert started with a refreshing, just a yogurt with cherries. It's really, really good. And for those with sweet tooth, worry not, they have a real dessert, which is the chocolate mousse, which is really tasty as well. Amazing restaurant. Deserving of 2 stars instead of 1. So Canabota is a great place for you to actually take a break from the Andalusian or typical Southern Spain cuisine that is meat heavy. Here, you know, Chef Marco Nieto and his talented culinary team really work hard in providing you with a great tasting menu of seafood. You can actually do a la carte as well, but honestly, I think tasting menu is where you get your money's worth, especially if you come here at lunch, because it costs around 90 euro, which is, you know, I think compared to the tasting menus in the US, it's definitely a steal. Remember when I first walked in, there was a big pile of seafood sitting on ice. Now on the way out, it's all gone. Well, maybe except for one little shrimp left. That's because they were all served to diners at that seating, and I really love that. It's a sustainable way of, you know, doing a business without any wastage.